South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has called for sanctions on Zimbabwe to be lifted.
They still have sanctions that many countries around the world have imposed on them. We've been some of those who've been calling on the world to relax the sanctions or lift the sanctions altogether so that Zimbabwe can begin to operate in an economic manner with the capabilities that it has. They are currently facing serious economic challenges, and they can be assisted by the world if those sanctions are lifted.
Well, Ramaphosa went on to say the two countries are discussing measures, including a bailout package to address the economic crisis. Zimbabwe's government has been accused of a brutal crackdown during protests over a rise in fuel prices. The country's Human Rights Commission accuses the security forces of systematic torture. The US, the UK, European Union and other states have imposed sanctions against Zimbabwe over rights abuses during former President Robert Mugabe's time in office. Online, there's been sharp criticism of the South African president's comments with accusations he's out of touch.
He speaks of sanctions, but nothing about corruption. He says nothing about the black-on-black violence that's going on in Zimbabwe right now. He speaks of a bailout package with no conditions. No conditions, no economic reforms required, no... What about the human rights violations, Mr. Ramaphosa? What do you stand for? Because right now you look like you are just part of that Sadc brotherhood who are only interested in benefiting from the system. Our society remains dysfunctional, and all you people are concerned about is being able to control the people and to benefit from the resources.
So we're seeing similar sentiment on Twitter. Zimbabwean opposition politician and lawyer David Coltart says Ramaphosa's statement was exceptionally disappointing. The root of our problems is the willful disregard for Zimbabwe's constitution by the Mnangagwa regime. But others disagree. Mushengu here says he is pleased that the South African president finally recognized that the economic woes of Zimbabwe are a result of the US and EU imposed sanctions. Well, a day earlier, President Emmerson Mnangagwa promised to investigate the security services' actions and called for national dialogue.